In this lesson, we're going to begin refining the jacket. Alright, so we've created the patterns of the jacket. Now what we want to do is we want to start bringing all of this together and just refining the overall detail. So let's go ahead and grab the dam standard brush. And let's see, where did I put that? There we go. And let's take our draw size down. And I want to get really close in here. And again, we're still working with symmetry. And I'm going to come in and I'm going to start to cut right in between these points. Okay, so bringing those in. And we're going to do this in all of the creases for this. So I'm just cutting in. I'm making sure that that looks nice and sharp, and that that has been sewn together, and it's not just a muddy mess. Okay. Okay. And I'm not using the lazy mouse on this because I want these stitches to not be perfect. Okay, I want them to kind of jut around a little bit and kind of sway a little bit differently than the overall shape. Okay, because what that will do is it will allow it to look like the material inside changes around the stitching and not necessarily the stitching being the focal point of that. Okay, so it creates some irregularity is what I'm saying. And I'm even kind of coming in and waving that around a little bit just to kind of change the shape of the individual cells. Okay, pushing that in. There we go. Okay, there's that. All right, now let's go ahead and go into the inside here. And I'm just going to bring that about. And then if some areas just feel like it's not close enough, what you can do is actually use your pinch brush. Bring some of that together. That actually might help a little bit. Okay, and just continuing on with this. I know this part is riveting. Like I said, something we got to do. Okay, there we go. And just about finished. Okay, so I've gone ahead and I've created stitching here, just digging into these areas. Oops. And that's getting a little bit down into the actual body there. I don't want that, so. Actually, you know what? That's not the body right there. That, I believe, is the other side of the coat. So let's go ahead and go to our brush really quickly. I want to go to auto masking, back face masking. Okay. Yeah, it's just not pushing through on both sides there. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead and inflate that. Inflate this up right along the edge. And then take that damn standard brush again, push down in there. There we go. And then inflate. there we go. So it brings that together. All right, great. Okay, now you could also come in on all of these, and then once you've done the use the dam standard, you could actually kind of start touching on the edges a little bit using the inflate brush, and that might help with the shape too a little bit. But remember, we don't want to get too puffy with the jacket. Okay, we don't want to go that far in it. Okay, so there we've got that shape there. A couple of other things that we want to add really quickly. I want to go ahead and use my standard brush. And, oops, back up here. I want to bring my draw size down. And I want to create this beading right across the edge of the jacket where it comes together. So something like this. Okay, and then we'll also create that little chevron detail that was on that. And I feel like that's not quite as round as I would like it to be, not quite as sharp. Let me try that again, maybe a little bit lower, and then take my focal shift up. There we go, that's much better. Okay. And then make some beading around the edge there. Really just make that pop a little bit more around the arms. Okay, all right. And then do the same thing right here across the top of that. And through here. So just trying to get some of these details to stick out a little bit more. Across the edge of the collar again. All right, so I think we've got everything that we want there. All right, great. All right, so now I've got this jacket. We could do a little bit more work on it. We could come in, maybe smooth some of these edges out a little bit more, maybe inflate them a little bit more. But I think what's really going to make this and set this off is by adding some damage and things like that to it. And actually we want to crumple the texture of this too. And so we've already seen one way of doing that with the boots when we created that leather texture. I'm actually going to use this Alpha 24 here, and I'm going to bring the brush size up on it, and we'll go to stroke, step 25 is good, okay, and we'll just kind of come over the top of this. Now that obviously is way too much there. Let's bring up the brush size, take the Z intensity way down, and let's just go right over the top of our jacket here. And notice how that's really starting to play with the overall texture. So you can kind of start to see underneath what that padding is starting to look like, okay, on this. So if you want to bring it up or you want to push it down, I would suggest bringing it up, so just having Z add turned on. But if you want to push it down, hold down Alt, okay, on your brush. There we go. And it creates just kind of a nice texture. Makes it look old. Okay. All right, very good. All right, so now we've got that set. Let me come in really quickly. Let me grab my move brush. And I just kind of want to see if I can, that's not going to really spread apart anymore. We brought that together. Move these a little closer. So I'm just trying to kind of clean up the edge there a little bit. Alright, so that's good. Alright, so we've got our jacket all set up. Now what we want to do is we want to go ahead and create some damage on this, just like we did with the shirt. And you can go ahead and create a layer to do that. So again, you're going to create a damage layer. Use those alphas, those wear and tear alphas that I gave you for the shirt. I'm going to let you do that in between lessons. We'll go ahead and we'll just kind of rough this up a little bit. And then after that, what we're going to do in our next lesson is we're actually going to bring in some geometry to create the hood for the character. And we'll get into that next.